What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Tuesday. This is Quita in the mornings because my name is Quita and we are in the mornings, and I'm not as celebratory as I normally am for these Monday or it's not even Monday. I was about to say these Monday shows, but these Tuesday shows, these morning shows. Like usually, I'm very hype. I'm very excited. I'm very ready to go. And for this one, yes, I do have some great games to talk about, but I do have some bummer of news to share with you all. And it is the fact that yesterday, in a game between USC and Mississippi State, Juju Watkins ended up going down in the first quarter. As y'all can see, she was kind of sandwiched in a way. She was fouled a little bit, but it was a lot of non-contact, especially down, on her lower leg. She ended up holding her knee, which made it seem like we all know what that looks like. It looked like an ACL injury yesterday. I didn't say anything. I didn't really want to say anything because I was like, you know what? Let's just pray for the best. But it turns out that unfortunately, what we thought was actually correct. We saw the fact that Juju Watkins, the most flashiest, one of the most exciting players in women's college basketball, has unfortunately tore her ACL. This was reported earlier, I guess you could say last night, or really early in this morning. It was reported that Juju Watkins is out for the remainder of the season, and she has torn her ACL. So we'll lead off with this topic, and then we'll get into some of the other things that happened. It wasn't good. Yes, she was fouled on this play, in my opinion. Yes, there was some contact, but sometimes things happen like this. I don't think it's Mississippi State's fault at all. Injuries happen. This is a part of the game, and this is a very unfortunate part of the game. Because here's the deal. This is not what was supposed to happen. Right? This was not how it was supposed to end. Not for Juju, not this year. But things happen. Juju Watkins was that girl. She came into the scene last year as the freshman phenom who did not just live up to the hype. She shattered it. She dominated last year, helping her team make it very far in the NCAA tournament. And this year, she was proving absolutely fantastic. This year, National Player of the Year contender. She was someone who averaged 23.9 points a game, 6.8 rebounds a game, 3.4 assists a game, shot 42% from the field. She was the heart and soul and the engine of this USC squad, a team that had and still has national title aspirations. And they had the resume to back it up. But 5 minutes into USC's second round game against Mississippi State, the dream of USC getting to that national championship game in a way kind of has gone to a screeching halt. Juju Watkins was on a fast break. She drove to the lane, something that she has done thousands and thousands of times. But this time, she planted her leg and it buckled. She hit the floor, clutching her knee, not moving very much. She seemed like she was in huge pain. The Galen Center ended up going silent. Everybody knew that something was wrong. Something was very, very wrong. And it was epitomized in the fact that Juju Watkins did not walk off the court. She was carried off the court. The face of USC basketball, the face, honestly, of the college game right now. She was done. Sources end up later confirming that she has torn her ACL. Season's over. Now, of course, this rattled the entire USC squad. They were all rattled about the fact that this just happened to a player that means so much to them. And we all were, right? the entire arena ended up feeling it, right? They booed Mississippi State for the rest of the game, and whether or not that was fair, because the home crowd they were pissed. They're mad. They were mourning in a sense. And USC still had 3 quarters to play. The game was not over because, the greatest player in college basketball right now went down. Game still had to play. They still had to play 3.5 quarters left to go. And USC played. They didn't fold. They made it happen. Kiki Ira-Offin dropped a season high 36 points, and the Trojans dominated. Why? Because they knew what was at stake. They knew what they were playing for, and they knew who they were playing for. Kiki Ira-Offin said it herself. She said that she didn't want to let Juju Watkins down, and she did not. She played her butt off, played a fantastic game, and ultimately, we see USC take down Mississippi State in a pretty decisive fashion. The final score 96-59. And it wasn't just Kiki Ira-Offin who stepped up. Yes, she did step up in a mighty, mighty way, but it wasn't just her. She was helped out in large case by, Avery Howe, who absolutely came into this game and dominated. She came off the bench, played a lot of minutes because Juju was out. And in those 28 minutes that she played 18 minutes. She made 18 buckets, finished the game with 18 points, 6 assists in this game. I thought Kylie Heckel also played a really good game as well. 13 points for her, 6 assists. This was a game that, a lot of emotions. We saw some chippy play. We saw some raw emotions, right? But when it came down to it, USC stepped up. They ended up going through Kiki Ira-Offin and making some noise. Rhea Marshall also was very good in this game. She added in 12 points. And, they all stepped up, right? They all stepped up and got the win for Juju. They showed that, hey, just because Juju went down, we still got some dogs on this team. We are still going to rock out and do the best that we can. Because they knew that Juju Watkins gave them the best she could. She gave everything to this team. She gave LA something that they could be really proud of. Something to believe in. She helped to unify people. She helped to bring celebrities in the building. She helped to let people know that USC was back on the map. And it helped to recruit some of the talent that they have now. And now, after leading this team to a 30-3 record and a number 1 seed, Juju Watkins' career, or season, I should say, is over. It doesn't end with a trophy, at least with her on the court. It ends with a torn ligament, which sucks. The road to the Final Four just got way, way harder for USC. But don't count them out just yet. Because now they are playing for something bigger than themselves. They're not just playing for a national championship. They're not just playing for a Final Four appearance. They are playing for Juju. And that means a whole lot more. So their story, is far from over. This was a brutal moment for USC, a brutal moment for Juju Watkins. But, hey, Juju Watkins is going to be back. She's going to be back stronger. Yes, she tore her ACL. Yes, this is a devastating injury. Yes, this sucks. However, many of players have dealt with this before and have come back stronger. And, I believe that, I believe she's going to do her thing. I believe she is really going to do her thing once she comes back. So yeah, that's the story I wanted to lead with. It's unfortunate. It sucks. But injuries happen, and injuries are never fun, but they are a part of the game. We have seen this before. In the biggest of moments, we have seen players go down. you know, I hate to see it, but this is basketball. Injuries happen. All we can do is pray for Juju, pray for her family. This is a lot that they're going to be dealing with, like with the surgery and the rehab and all that other stuff. That's a lot to deal with. And so, please, if you could, pray for her, that she ends up, in a good mental space because of this. And, she has the best doctors possible and everything all works out. Okay, that is over. That talk is over now. Let's go to some of the games that happened yesterday. Let's go through some of the games that happened yesterday, and we start with Alabama versus Maryland. Now, guys, this was one of the best games in NCAA women's basketball tournament history. We saw the 4th-seeded Maryland squad pull off a jaw-dropping, a huge comeback, 17-point comeback win against number 5 Alabama. In double overtime, the final score of that game was 111 Maryland, 108 Alabama. Guys, this was a gritty game. This was a very chaotic game at times. And ultimately, guys, this was an instant classic. Brenda Fries mentioned that this was like a heavyweight fight. This really was. This was a heavyweight fight where teams were throwing everything they possibly could. Neither team deserved to lose this game. But ultimately, somebody had to lose and somebody had to advance. And so let's break down what was one of the most electric finishes in tournament history. So we saw this game where Maryland initially came out hot, then got punched in the mouth. We saw Alabama's Sarah Ashley Barker play her butt off. She went nuclear in the second quarter of this game. She scored 12 of her school record 45 points to help fuel the Crimson Tide on a 21-4 run. And with less than 3 minutes left to go in the third, we saw Alabama with a pretty substantial lead, 62-45. We saw Sarah Ashley doing her thing. We saw Essence Cody do her thing. Zay Green, Aaliyah Nye. Alabama was clicking on all cylinders until things shifted. Maryland, they ended up calling a timeout. And Cheyenne Sellers was like, hey, when we called that timeout, it was all about talking about score, get a stop, and get a score again. Just trying to get it within 10. And all of a sudden, they were right there. Maryland ended up clawing back in this game. A huge clawback in this game, starting late in the third quarter into the fourth quarter, where they went from a 17-point deficit into the victory. We saw Cheyenne Sellers lead the squad. She dropped 16 of her 28 points in the fourth quarter and in overtime. And we saw Kayleen Smichael do her thing as well. 14 second half points for her. She ultimately did foul out with 23 points. There were several players who fouled out, including 3 players on Alabama. Down by 3 points in this game with 12 seconds left to go. Sarah Tibiasu ended up stepping up with a huge 3-point bucket to ultimately tie the game, get it into overtime. And in the first overtime, because there was 2 overtimes, we saw pure chaos. We saw some missed shots. We saw some fouls, and we saw a disaster for Maryland. They ended up fouling Sarah Ashley Barker. Maryland was up 3 points with 0.7 seconds left to go. They fouled Sarah Ashley Barker on a 3-point shot. Sarah, it was a timeout called. Sarah ended up, trying to regroup regrouping and get it together. She ended up asking someone to pray for her, and she was like, hey, whatever happens is what's supposed to happen. She calmed down, went to that free throw line. Boom. 1 free throw. Boom. 2 free throws. Boom. The third free throw. It is all tied up. She nailed all 3 of her free throws. So double overtime, here we come. And once again, Sarah Tibiasu scores again. She had 8 of her 26 points in that second overtime. Ultimately, she helped to refuse Maryland the loss. And her shots, her leadership, her energy helped to fuel this Maryland team to a Sweet 16 berth. With seconds left to go, Cheyenne Sellers ended up hitting 2 huge free throws, putting Maryland up by 3. Maryland had the basketball, but unfortunately for them, they were not able to get it to their best player, Sarah Ashley Barker. And ultimately, Maryland survives. They survived by Cheyenne Sellers with some clutch buckets from start to finish. With Sarah Tibiasu having a monster night. Kylene Smeichel, huge in this comeback. Ali Kubek, same thing. She was a steady rock throughout this game. In Alabama, yes, you had Sarah Ashley Barker's 45 points, which was absolutely legendary numbers. Her 45 points was the most points scored by any player in the NCAA tournament since Kelsey Mitchell. Yeah, remember her? She was a baller at Ohio State. Since she did that in 2016. So wild. This was Maryland's largest comeback since 2019. This is their 4th. Crazy. Alabama left everything they had on the court. Sarah Ashley Barker, she was the player of the game. Yes, she did have quite a bit of turnovers, but she played her butt off. And I just felt so bad because I'm like, somebody had to lose. Somebody had to lose in this game. And this was one of those games where you just didn't want anybody to lose. You didn't. Because you were just like, man, this is wild. And hey, that was a fantastic game. So 219 points in total was the second most in the NCAA tournament history for the women. This was fantastic. Fantastic game. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, did y'all watch this Alabama versus Maryland game? I'm curious. What did y'all think about that game? I thought it was pretty great. What did y'all think? But I tell you this, one thing I tell you, Sarah Ashley Barker earned herself a season roster spot for the WNBA. Yes, she was always going to get drafted. It was sort of a question mark of is she a early second round pick or is she a late first round pick? Like, what is she? And I'm going to tell you this. GMs looked at that game yesterday and they saw Sarah Ashley Barker, a post player, playing the point at times, bringing up the basketball, shooting threes, literally doing everything she possibly could, scoring efficiently, and ultimately putting her team on her back. This earns her not just getting drafted. She was going to get drafted regardless, but just because you get drafted does not mean you actually make the roster. I think this performance, she's making the roster. Like, dog. Like, she's making the roster. If not, if not a second round pick, she's probably a first round pick now. That performance, March is what helps players. March is what helps players actually get roster spots. It helps them move up in the draft, and the way she played was, it was fire. It was absolutely fire. So huge shout out to Sarah Ashley Barker. Again, 3 starters for Alabama fouled out in the game. And they still win. Yes, the story of the game. The story of the game is Maryland. Yes. Maryland took care of business. They did. Cheyenne Sellers was fan-freaking-tastic. However, the best player on the court was on the team that didn't win. Because the best player on the court was Sarah Ashley Barker. It was. And Maryland played like a team. Cheyenne Sellers, her leg seems to be good now. Say this. Maryland, hey, teams better watch out. Teams better watch out, because coming up next for Maryland, they will be facing the number 1 seed, South Carolina. It's about to be kind of fun, guys. If you didn't know, this is actually a rematch of the 2023 Elite Eight, where South Carolina ended up beating Maryland. But this is a new Maryland squad. This also is a new South Carolina squad. So we're going to see what that rematch looks like in the Sweet 16. That was classic, okay? Maryland versus Alabama will go down as a classic, as a memory for time to come. And if we're lucky, we might get more of this madness coming in the Sweet 16. Okay? Stern says, thank you so much for the super chat. Says Maryland saved a brutal day for the Big Ten. I mean, they did their thing. They absolutely did their thing in this one. And to be honest with you, I thought Alabama was gonna win this game. I did. I picked them to win in my bracket, and like watching the game, I was like, oh, I think Alabama has it. And then they allowed Maryland to hang on, and you can't do that. You cannot do. You are playing Maryland at their home. Like you got to keep up the pressure. You have to keep up the pressure. But yeah, it's wild game. Nubian Sage says exactly. Sarah Ashley Barker elevated her draft status. She could be a good wing /2 for this guy because she has that dog in her. I mean, she does have that dog in her. Like, honestly, it's making me be like, hey, if Cheyenne Sellers is off the board at number 8, if she's off the board before number 10, Sky, draft her. Draft her. Like, she is someone that you just want on your squad. You just want her on your squad, you know? Also, I think I said she's a post player. She's not a post player. She's a guard. But yeah, if y'all could hit that like button, that really does help the channel out a whole lot. We got some more stuff to talk about. And I want to talk about NC State, because yesterday, NC State made some school history in their game, and they saw 3 players absolutely dominate. All right, so let's go through these games real quick, and then again we'll go back to the Juju news for those who are just joining in. We will go to that in just a sec. We started off the show with it, but we'll come back to it right after this. All right, thank you. Okay, so NC State dominated against Michigan State yesterday. They won 83-49. And guys, this was a game that was basically over in the first quarter. This NC State team was absolute fire. Like, it was like, man, it was like they came off the bus, and it was like, okay, let's lace up our boots and let's ride out. Let's ride out in the pack with the pack. Let's ride out, because this is our last game of the season at home, and we are going to absolutely make some noise. All right, 15 threes made in this game, which is a school record. They were 15 of 30 from the 3, 50%. And you had 4 players in double digits for your team. You had Zam Jones doing her thing with 12. You had Madison Hayes with 17. You had Sanaya Rivers with 17. You had Isaiah James with 26. It was absolutely fan-freaking-tastic, okay? You held Michigan State, a team that is really good offensively, to a season low of 49 points. Crazy numbers for NC State. They came out ready to ball, and it was all about the 3 amigos. Guys, I saw this photo, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to add this photo on my slideshow, because, like, Oh my god, isn't this such an awesome photo? I was just saying, like, isn't this an amazing, amazing photo? Of Madison Hayes, Isaiah James, Sanaya Rivers, because guys, sometimes the rim looks like a swimming pool. And yesterday, NC State had the entire ocean to aim at. They were just on fire. They dominated in this one. Again, huge from the three-point line. 6 threes for Isaiah James. 5 threes for Madison Hayes, right? Sanaya Rivers, she just hits 1 3, but Sanaya Rivers did a little bit of everything. And Sanaya Rivers is one of those players who, like, has a ton of potential, but sometimes I just feel like she don't play up to her potential. But yesterday, she's on fire. 17 points, 11 assists. I did not say that wrong. I said it right. 11 assists. 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Legendary numbers for Sanaya Rivers. I thought she did great. I thought she did absolutely great. And the game was over from the jump. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I really don't. This team played a fantastic game at Reynolds Coliseum. This is their home arena that they've won 23 straight home games at. You know, it's kind of cool. It is kind of cool. And when you have these 3 players rocking out the way that they did, it's kind of wild. It is absolutely kind of wild because Sanaya Rivers, she did everything. If you want playmaking, she did that. You want some swagger? Oh, she brought it the whole time. You want some defense? Yes, Sanaya Rivers has that. She did everything short of making some popcorn, right? It was everything on the court for you to witness. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Michigan State got ran out the gym, right? They ran into a buzzsaw, straight up buzzsaw. And NC State, if they continue to play like this, man, it's gonna be interesting times in the Sweet 16. But I do have to give a huge shout out to Grace Van Sluten for Michigan State. I thought she played her butt off. She did as much as she could. 15 points. She didn't shoot efficiently, but like she tried her best. 15 points for her. 11 rebounds. She was someone who was trying, right? And she was the main player who was trying to make some noise in this tournament. This is a back-to-back double-double for her. This was a lonely battle for her, right? She was the only Spartan in double figures yesterday. And tough ending for Michigan State. But sometimes it bees like that. Sometimes it bees like that. And NC State, they own Reynolds Coliseum. But now, home court advantage does not matter. Who cares about home court advantage? Because now they are on to Spokane. The road leads west. And on Friday, we will see a very, very heavyweight matchup. And so, yeah, I think that's going to be very, very fun to watch. I'm excited about it. I hope y'all are as well. Just some crazy overall numbers for this NC State team. This is a team that, like, yeah, sometimes you just don't know what you're gonna get, right? A lot of times we see Isaiah James show up, but sometimes we don't see Sanaya Rivers have a fantastic game. But she was on fire yesterday. I'm just saying. And when Sanaya Rivers is on fire, I think you better watch out. I'm just saying. I think you better watch out. That is all I am saying. And who they gonna face? Well, LSU. LSU. All right, let's move on. Actually, to talk about LSU. All right. Let's actually talk about LSU's game yesterday between Florida State. But actually, before we do, just real quick, just to give you guys, I'm not showing the video. I am not showing the video. But I did, for those who are just joining, I did want to give you all the news. You can rewind for the full, for everything I really did say earlier about Juju. But turns out that Juju Watkins ended up tearing her ACL yesterday. She was someone who lit the world of college basketball on fire last year, and this was not how it was supposed to end. But unfortunately, this is how it has ended for Juju, at least for this year. She drove to the basket on a fast break play, ended up having her knee buckle, went down, was holding her knee, ended up getting carried off the court, did not return back to the game, went to the hospital. And it turns out that we found out overnight that Juju Watkins has torn her ACL. And it's terrible news. Terrible news for someone who has been as dominant as she has been for the last 2 years in women's college basketball. She's been everything, really, to this USC team. But unfortunately, her career, or season, I should say, is over. Her team was rattled. They were frazzled about the news. Watching your teammate get carried off the court is a huge thing. It sucks. Absolutely sucks. But USC ended up doing what they do best. Like changing gears and playing for their best player. We saw Kiki Ira-Afin have a absolutely fantastic game yesterday. She had like 36 points in this game. She dominated. Kylie Heckel, there were so many players for USC who stepped up yesterday, because they were playing for something more than themselves. They were playing for something more than just winning a game. They were playing for their teammate. And that goes a long way. Now, how far will USC make it? We don't know. I gotta tell you this, they're gonna need Kiki Ira-Afin to continue to step up, and we need to see this USC team continue to play together. They had a fantastic game yesterday. No significant drop off when Juju Watkins went down for USC. 36 for Kiki Ira-Afin, 10 for Kennedy Smith. We saw 18 from Avery Howe. We saw 13 from Kylie Heckel. This was a really, really good team win. Raya Marshall also stepped up with 12 points as well. This was a game where Juju could not play. And her teammates had to step up, and they absolutely did, and they played a really good game. And so we'll ultimately see how things continue on from here. But, all I can say is, pray for Juju. She's about to go through a lot, a lot of mental anguish, a lot of physical anguish. And, unfortunately, injuries happen. They're a part of the game, and it's just a thing. It is just a thing. Shamika says, I could tell Mississippi State was impacted as well. Both teams were shaking. Yeah. Both teams were shaking about this. And I'm not going to play the clip. But I played it earlier. So if you want to really, really watch it earlier. But the thing about that is, yes, it was an upper body foul. But it wasn't like Juju was shoved. It wasn't anything other than a basketball play. Yes, it was a foul. Yes, Juju Watkins was sandwiched for a hot second and then was fouled. It was a foul. However, it was not a dirty play. It was not a dirty play at all. Yeah. It could frazzle you when you're trying to play some defense, not trying to injure somebody, and then that happens. It's a basketball play. It sucks, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, let's continue on. Let's talk about LSU. Let's talk about LSU and their absolute dominant win. Okay. Because Yeah. NC State is about to face LSU because LSU absolutely dominated against Florida State. Now, guys, let's talk about this game. So overall, this game was a game where LSU just kind of reminded us who they were, right? You know how like what was that? It's like a clip that's like, they are who we thought they were, right? That's what this game was. That is exactly what this game was, because LSU is exactly who we thought they were. They are some absolute bucket getters. Absolute bucket getters. Now let's kind of go through this game. This game in the first half seemed like a game that maybe LSU was gonna get got, right? It seemed like, okay, Florida State has come out to play. Tanaya Latson is looking pretty good. And what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then, similar to the South Carolina game, similar to the UCLA game in the second round, we saw a huge second half turn around. Okay? Huge second half turnaround in this game where LSU was like, okay, all right, we in this. We're good. We fine. And let's absolutely come out here and dominate on our home court for the last time this year. And they did exactly that. Okay? They did exactly that. We saw LSU outscore Florida State 31-6. Crazy numbers. Okay. When we talk about teams just coming out and be like, okay, all right, we regrouped, we revamped, and now, pew, that's really what it was. 31 points by LSU in that second half, or in that third quarter, I should say. 31 points in that third quarter alone. And it wasn't like it was just them scoring. They were also starting to play some really good defense as well. Yeah. This is the team that, ran up the score. And they made it happen. Michaela Williams, I gotta say Michaela Williams. She's in this graphic for a reason because she was on fire. 28 points from Michaela Williams. 10 of 12 from the field. She absolutely positively dominated in this game. Went 3 for 3 from the 3-point line, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Like, she was on fire. She didn't miss a three. Barely missed anything in this game. She was like gliding all over the place. She was smooth. She's like a smooth operator yesterday. Deadly from the field. And when she got into rhythm, there was nothing you could do. There was no changing that. All you could do is just hold on and try to survive. And unfortunately for FSU, they could not survive. And it wasn't just Michaela Williams. It was Anissa Morrow with 26 points, 11 rebounds, and count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 assists. Fantastic play for Anissa Morrow. A extremely versatile post that can do a little bit of everything. She was running the floor. She was banging down low. She was dishing out assists like she was a point guard or something, making some stuff happen. And then, you got Flau'jae Johnson. Flau'jae Johnson, yes, in this game, Flau'jae Johnson does not score a lot of points, but she came out of the locker room ready to roll. She ended up exploding in this game. She had a floater. She had a layup. She had that no-look pass, right, to Anissa. She had a block, right? She was someone who just kind of did a little bit of everything in this game. Yes, Flau'jae does not score a lot of points in this game. She doesn't. Only 13 points. So you may be like, not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal, but yeah, those 13 points was huge. And her energy was way bigger than the box score shows. Way bigger than the box score shows. And I got to talk about Samaya Smith. Again, I'm gonna do a video about all the Sanayas and Samayas that are in women's college basketball. So there's a lot of them. Anyway, Samaya Smith. I keep wanting to say Sanaya Rivers. Samaya Smith ended up being on her big one. She got a huge ovation in the fourth quarter when she came out the game, and that was because she did her thing. Okay? 20 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. She had herself a night. This was the first time in NCAA tournament history that a post duo had 20 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, and 5 plus assists in a game. Like, talk about historic, guys. Talk about historic. 29 assists for this program. And you know, yes, yes, this is a squad that passes the ball, but not this much. Like, I've never seen LSU pass the ball this much, and the players they pass to actually make the shot. Like, 29 assists, which is a program tournament record. 56% from the field. They was playing some defense as well. Only 11 turnovers in this game, and hey, Kim Mulkey said it. She said everyone's on the same page. And when you got that, you go far. And clearly, LSU is trying to go far. They do have a game coming up against NC State. And I got to give huge credit, huge credit to the fantastic Taniyah Latson. Because Taniyah Latson, y'all, she was on one. She was on one yesterday. She dropped 30 points in this game. She had 23 points at halftime. The reason why Florida State was rocking out in that first half, the reason why the game was so tight at halftime was because of Taniyah Latson. But after halftime, LSU ended up locking her up on defense, and ultimately she only had 7 second half points. Florida State, they came in leading the nation in scoring. And they finished with only 71 points, when normally they're averaging around 87 points a game. And unfortunately for them, in that third and fourth quarter, they got ran out the gym. Unfortunately for them. Now we do have LSU versus NC State. This is a rematch game, and so that should be pretty fun. We saw LSU beat this team in November, and we'll see what the Wolfpack has to offer, because this is not November. We are in March. And this LSU team and this NC State team are peaking at the right time. They're both hungry, and they're both not afraid of anybody. So, Final Four is the goal, right? For both these teams. Actually, scratch that. It's not really even the goal. It's the expectation. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, because only one team can make it out of the Sweet 16. I think it's going to be fun. I love it when you see games where it's just like, first half is this. Second half, the whole game gets turned on its head, and everybody just has to look and be like, whoa, we are witnessing something great. We're witnessing something absolutely great. Michael says LSU needs to play the way they played yesterday for the rest of the season. We'll see if that happens. We will see if that happens, because here's the deal. NC State is a crazy awesome team. Right? I mean, we just talked about the game that NC State had yesterday. And so I'm just like, man, what are we going to expect in this Sweet 16 matchup? Because I tell you this, we are in for some absolute fan-freaking-tastic games. We're ready for it. The Sweet 16 is about to be crazy. Insane in the membrane, insane, got no brain. That's gonna be us during the Sweet 16, watching these teams play. I'm just saying. Okay. So yesterday was the last game in the PMAC for LSU this season, and yesterday was the last home game for UConn as well. And guys, let's actually talk about that UConn game. So UConn ended up playing South Dakota State. And guys, just a quick aside. I would love to see more top teams play South Dakota State in the future. It and play South Dakota State at their home. It seems that some of these better programs are maybe afraid to play South Dakota State at their home during the regular season. I'm just saying, we need to see it. We absolutely need to see it. Okay, that is my PSA to anybody who would listen. Please play South Dakota State. Please play them next year. And when you play them at their home, because I'm gonna tell you this: we may see a result that you may not like. I'm just saying, we may see a result that you may not like, because this South Dakota State team is a really, really good squad. Yes, they ended up losing yesterday, but they're a really good squad. I think they have a lot of heart. I think they have a lot of fight in them. But yeah, let's actually get into the commentary about this game. But I did just want to lead off with that. Please, somebody play South Dakota State at their home. Okay. That is my PSA. Okay. Let's talk about it, because we saw the final home game for UConn of the season. We saw a standing ovation. We saw a legacy that was already in a way cemented, but Paige Bueckers showed that she is not done yet. We saw the second seed UConn squad roll into its 31st consecutive Sweet 16 with a dominant 91-57 win over South Dakota State. And guys, this game was headlined by the woman who has been dominating stores for the last several years, and her name is Paige Bueckers. She had 34 points in this game. This matches her career high, 34 points. She gave Gamble Pavilion one last show, and boy, oh boy, was it a show. FaZe is hilarious. FaZe is in a comment. FaZe is probably the biggest UConn fan I have on this channel. FaZe be going all out. He be going all out for Paige Bueckers. But anyway, Paige Bueckers, 34 points, 14 of 21 from the field, 3 of 5 from the 3-point line. Paige Buckets was literally getting buckets from every angle. She was controlling every possession. She was just great on the court. And as Gino says, Paige was Paige. And when Paige is Paige, you already know what you're going to see. Great game, great buckets. You're going to see someone who takes care of the ball, and literally 34 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 0 turnovers in this game. Right? 0 turnovers. And, it wasn't just Paige in this game. It wasn't just Paige. We saw KK Arnold. KK had 6 points in this game, but I'm going to tell you this. It is way, way, way more than just the box score. Because KK Arnold came in this game and was like, you know what? I'm playing some defense. She brought some huge energy off the bench defensively in this game. And ultimately, hey, her defense was rocking. We saw Paige Bueckers' offense was rocking. Sarah Strong's offense was rocking. She was 7 of 9 from the field. She ended up with 15 points as well. 15 points, 5 assists. Everybody for UConn kind of just did their job. And this game was actually pretty close in that first quarter. It was pretty close. Because South Dakota State is a good squad. Now, are they good enough to beat UConn at home during the NCAA tournament? No. But this squad is a good squad, and they did give UConn a little bit of a run for their money, especially early on in the game. But then, Paige Bueckers was scoring, whether it was floaters, whether it was pull-ups, whatever it was. And then she had that huge 3 to end the third quarter. It was game over. It was game over in the second quarter, probably. But definitely in that third quarter where, unfortunately, South Dakota State was only able to score 8 points. Several runs for UConn in this game, but it wasn't just Paige. It wasn't just AZ. It wasn't just KK. It was AZ Fudd, who had 17 points in this game. She continues to be that huge sniper that we know her to be, 3 of 5 from the 3-point line. Sarah Strong did her thing, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Yeah, she kind of did everything on the court yesterday. And I said KK Arnold, who was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fan-freaking-tastic in this game. This game was UConn operating in full flow. Everybody was clicking. Everything was working. Everyone was contributing. And one superstar led the charge for their squad. After it was all over, Paige ended up addressing the crowd and just sort of like, giving her gratitude for what Gamble Pavilion has meant for her. But make no mistake, she is not done yet. We will see UConn versus Oklahoma. We will see UConn versus Oklahoma in the Sweet 16. We'll see. We'll see what happens in that game. I think it's going to be fun to watch UConn versus Oklahoma, and then whoever wins that is going to be facing USC if USC actually makes it to the Elite Eight. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be very, 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 very fun. All right, guys. I think I'm actually out of time. So I do just want to breeze through some of the other games that happened yesterday. Just so y'all are aware, I won't be able to go into like full recaps of them all, unfortunately, because I am out of time. So many games to cover, so little time. We saw Texas easily take care of business against Illinois. We saw in that game it was all about Madison Booker and Rory Harmon, who was absolutely doing their thing. We saw Iowa lose to Oklahoma. Oklahoma just rocked out. I mean, you got 3-point shooters and you got Reagan Beers in the post. I mean, what more can you do? How much more can you handle? 96-62 was the final score of that game. Overall, really good season for Iowa. We saw West Virginia lose to North Carolina. That was a very, very low scoring game, but ultimately North Carolina was able to pull out the win, 58-47. And now we are headed, ladies and gentlemen, we are headed to the Sweet 16. This is where everything falls. So the games that we will see starting on Friday will be North Carolina versus Duke, Maryland versus South Carolina, LSU versus NC State, Ole Miss versus UCLA on Friday. And then on Saturday, we will see Notre Dame versus TCU, Tennessee versus Texas, Oklahoma versus UConn, and Kansas State versus USC. Those are the games that we will be seeing in the upcoming days. I think it should be fun. But guys, in the meantime, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to turn on your notification bell because I'm going to be covering these teams heavily. Right now, we will have a couple days break, right? We have from now until Friday, until these games actually start. And so I will be giving y'all a synopsis of stuff that y'all need to know about these Sweet 16 teams. So make sure to join me tomorrow as we go through. We'll probably go through four teams a day as we lead on up to actually we have to do maybe 6 teams a day probably as we lead on down to Friday for everything you all need to know about the Sweet 16. I hope y'all are interested in that. As always, I do thank you so much for rocking with me. I do appreciate you for your support of this channel. I make content all the time, every day. Got something new coming out in the day. Just to talk about women's hoops because that's what we do here. And I try my best to do it in a ethical way, in a way that is not negative, in a way that is uplifting, in a way that is just telling you all what happened. So hopefully y'all appreciate it. If for some reason y'all are like, actually, nah, I don't like the way you did this or whatever, like, let me know. I love constructive feedback as long as you're not like, oh, you suck and there's nothing you can do about it. As long as you can like give me some sort of, critical feedback. I think that's fine. I'll take it. I'll take all the feedback as possible as long as you're not like crazy rude about it. But like, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about the style. Tell me what you think about the presentations. Tell me what you think overall about what I do. Because ultimately I'm trying to get better. This is a thing that I enjoy doing. I enjoy talking to you all the time. And every day, I just want to get, if I can, 1% better. 1% better every single day. So ultimately, in like, 5-6 months time, 5-6 years time, we at a whole nother level, right? Because we've grown together. So again, thank you so much. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Make sure to tell a neighbor, tell a friend that Quita Loves Sports is on the internet every single morning, telling y'all everything you need to know about women's basketball. Okay? Okay. Y'all have a good one. Be productive. Have a good day at your job or at your work or like whatever. Quentin says, I like your stand-up desk. Yeah. So this is the desk I've been using this whole time, but like it was always a stand-up desk. And so I just raised it up. And so I feel like my videos are way more energized now because I'm not sitting down. I don't know. I think there's something like, lazy is not the right word, but like boring, less mobile, or like whatever. But now that I'm standing, I feel like I can move and like get really excited and like get like really, really get into it. So yeah, that's a change I made, and so I'm happy that at least somebody noticed. Thank you so much, Quintus, for noticing. But yeah, I am probably gonna stand for the remainder of my videos from now on. I feel like I like it. Maybe if it's like a crazy serious topic, maybe I'll sit. But like overall, I think I like it. It makes me feel like very casual in a sense, but not. It's like an active casual kind of vibe. Anyway, I'm rambling. Y'all have a great day. I will see y'all in the next one. See y'all tomorrow, guys. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend that Quita Loves Sports is on the internet in the morning, because this is called Quita in the Mornings because my name is Quita and I'm on in the mornings. Also, guys, can y'all give a huge shout out to my dad? We celebrated his birthday yesterday. Daddy is an old man now. We celebrated his birthday, so shout out to him for living another year of awesomeness. So yeah, he will be on the channel come WNBA time. Okay, come WNBA time, both Mama and Daddy will be on the channel. But yeah, it is my dad's birthday. So y'all wish him a happy birthday in the chat if y'all could. I told him that I would tell the awesome people of the internet that it was his birthday. So shout out to my dad for being a awesome person. We had some pizza and some chicken yesterday. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough for me rambling. Okay, great. I'll do a screen grab of all these happy birthday wishes, and I'll let them know. I'll let him know that the awesome people of the internet wishes him a happy birthday. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. I got to go to work. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Until next time, let somebody know that they matter and they are important, because they absolutely do. And if no one has told you, you matter. You are important, and I'm happy that you are on this earth. Guys, I love you. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.